Buzz's Retirement Garage. Welcome to the channel, especially people from Larry's channel. I appreciate him for the shout out, and I appreciate you guys for stopping by and checking out Buzz's Retirement Garage. Today we're going to talk about some of the things that we have to anticipate going forward. So, we're in our 60s, 70s, 80s maybe, and we know that we've had more life behind us than it's going to be in front of us. So sure, we talk about, dying, and we talk about wills, and we talk about trusts, and we talk about making sure all your I's are dotted and T's are crossed when it comes to all that. But what about the in-between? So what does that mean? So I got an email from somebody back in May, actually, one of our subscribers in Arizona. And I do get emails from subscribers or just general viewers who throw out some emails that say, hey, why don't we talk about this? Because this is on my mind. So if you do have an email that you'd like to send me about a particular subject, please feel free to do it. My email is on every one of my videos. You can find it rather easily. So here's what the email said. Buzz, not sure if you're open to suggestion for videos, but I came across something that might interest some of the viewers that I haven't heard about yet. My premise is that I'm kind of alone in this retirement world, and my mind wanders a lot about what could go wrong. I see a lot of older people getting scammed, and even had a friend get swindled by one of those online romance schemes. I also worry about the possibility of becoming unable to manage my finances due to mental decline as I get older. Now, we just talked about the other day, Scully, on January 15th, 2000 something, I forget, when he landed the jet in the Hudson River. He just came out last year and basically said, I think it was last July or August, he said that he's starting to get Alzheimer's, and he's going through that right now. So he's had it for like a year, and he's starting to forget details. He's starting to, because this guy's mind was sharp. I mean, sharp as a tack. And now he's starting to forget things, and he's going to have a steady decline in his mental capacities. And as you get older, that's whether you have Alzheimer's or not, you're still going to get the forgetful mode, right? You're going to forget words. You're going to forget where you left things. And I think that's part normal. I'm not saying that's Alzheimer's, but as we get older, the brain cells, we get less brain cells, maybe, I don't know. But that's just life. So this person's email is spot on, because I also worry about the possibility of becoming unable of managing my finances due to mental decline as I get older. Okay. So that opens up a big can of worms now, because let's say you're alone, or say you don't have a big family structure, which is possible for many of us, and you start to get into that mental decline. So he goes on to say, with that in mind, I asked my financial planner if I could put something in place that would limit my annual withdrawals to a specific amount. So he's kind of covering that in case he falls into a trap with somebody, signs up for something that he shouldn't have, got involved in a scam, or just start spending money needlessly. Hey, either like on your credit card, where you might have a fraudulent transaction and your bank catches that. Who catches you? What stopgap is there when you're spending money that you shouldn't spend? Who's checking it out? So that's a great question he's got. So he asked his financial planner if he could limit the annual withdrawals to a specific amount, and if I ever asked for more, to contact a designated person that I would have already discussed it with to verify those transactions. That makes sense. That does make sense. Now, if you have a spouse, different story. We'll talk about that real quick. So then I asked ChatGPT if something like this was available for my credit union account and or banks. And the answer in both cases was a trusted contact. He was able to place, so he's done this, I was able to place very specific controls in the document with my investment planner. I'm not sure that I can be specific with my credit union or bank, but we'll be putting something in place with that probably next week. Now, I got this email back in May, so I'll have to follow up with him and see where he ended up with that. Just something I was aware of that might help others. I've already have a trust in place, but this adds a level of protection that I think is important. So very interesting, and I appreciate that. Mr. Subscriber in Arizona. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's very interesting, because if you have a spouse, and now in my situation particularly, I do all the transactions for banking. Let me keep this straight. I'm in the tall grass. The tripod's in the tall grass, and every time I move my foot and hit that grass, it moves the camera or moves the phone. So I have a spouse who I take care of all the transactions. Now, what happens if I start to lose it a little bit? And still, even if you're going to pass away, your spouse, and I've done videos about this before, your spouse needs to be able to just pop right in. So you have to have your internet codes, you have to have all the banking down, and a lot of you have come back to me and said, yes, you have that. But some of you have come back to me and said, your spouse wants nothing to do with it. You know, you try to tell them, hey, better check this out and see where this is at, and make sure that you know how to do these bills, and you make sure where we're getting our money from, and they just don't want to deal with it, because they don't want to accept that somebody will pass away at some point in the future. So there's a couple things going on. But if you're just like me, if I start to mentally decline, and she doesn't want anything to do with it, maybe she doesn't even notice that I'm not paying bills until, now, yeah, some of the bills are just coming out automatically, sure. But what if, like my electric bill, I pay that. I don't have it taken directly out of my account. And what happens if I get to a point where, you know, the lights go off, you know, because I didn't do it? You know, then she's going to have to step in and figure out, hey, there's something wrong. But what if you're, in this case of Mr. Arizona, I'll call him, what happens if you're alone and, you know, you're single or you're widowed? What do you do then? Because, you know, your lights go off, you're not figuring it out. Well, what happened? Did the power go out? Well, no, you didn't pay the bill. You know, so there are some things that I wonder, and we have to dig into this deeper, that what we can do in that the years between retirement and death, what happens if? We've got to take a look at that side of it too. So very interesting question. I don't have the answer. It's something that we should talk about. So, you know, in the comments, give me some comments on what do you think, how you're doing it, so we can share that best practices with other retirees. I think it would be great if you could do that. Let's pop in the comment. Have you thought about this kind of situation? Are you looking at ways to add trusted contacts? Do you have an extended family that's going to help you out? Or do you have no family and you're worried about this same exact thing? So I appreciate that. Buzz's Retirement Garage, take care. We'll see you next time.